Hey, yo. Hey, yo.
Go.
Hit me with it. What episode number?
Episode 55.
55.
55.
About free 55.
Tree fitty.
Tree 50. Well, hell yeah. Episode number 55. It's going to be a pod light today. Nice and quick, but we got some good stuff for you. No BDR spotlight. It's kind of a rainy day here. We got a bunch of our sales team 6 folks working from home. So it's kind of a ghost crew out there. I wanted to keep the good mojo going. So we left them on the phones today. They'll be back next week. But yeah, I want to take some time. We'll go through some proposals, deals, talk about a couple of funny stories we've got internally, and then we'll cut you loose on a couple of sales tips that I think are pretty simple, but need to be said. But pretty good one. So starting off with some roofing proposals that we had come in. I guess when was the last time that we got together? Tuesday?
Yeah.
Yep.
Tuesday.
Cool. So we've got some stuff to cover. R4 Roofing, Adam Broughton got out a proposal for a re-roof at a hotel for $500,000, $500,000. Sheesh. Dylan Mobley, Shepherd Roofing, got out a repair quote for $850. Caden Mitchell, AMW Inc., got out a proposal for $250,000, $250,000. R4, again, Adam Broughton, again, got out a preventative maintenance agreement for $1,800 for spring and $1,800 for the fall. Sounds like a quarterly preventative maintenance agreement. Pretty good. And then Caden Mitchell, again, with Alliance Roofing, got out a maintenance plan quote for $15,000 annually. Pretty good ones.
Yeah.
Pretty good ones.
We don't see too many of those preventive maintenance quotes come in, so that's cool.
Yeah, for roofing, I think that's the move, man.
Yeah, reoccurring.
If you're a roofer watching that, I mean, you can go do the $3,000 patch job or whatever, or you can charge them $15,000 over the course of the year, 4 times over the course of the year, once a quarter. Come out, just do whatever it needs to make sure that the roof is taken care of. A lot of roofers that we talk to are moving in that direction. And we've mentioned before, if you do a good job there, they're going to have you out to redo the roof once it's time to be replaced. So
right.
Kind of keeps them under lock and key until they're ready to replace their roof. So really good work, both Adam and Caden on fire. Now moving over to IT, we've got a couple of good ones since the last time we were on here. Mason Brown with .NET updated a proposal from $6,800 MRR to $10,800 MRR. So an extra $4,000 on top there. Christian Wright in KHIT got out a proposal for $859 MRR, and then a one-time startup fee of $1,200. Pretty solid one there, standard MSP deal. 403 Tech got out a proposal with Evan Wolf for $2,250 MRR. And that's just for one of their locations. So if they did all 3 locations, it would be $6,750 MRR for 403 Tech. We've had them around forever. Evan Wolf does a great job. Pretty cool. Miles Murphy, Integratech, who just gave us a referral, by the way. Shout out Integratech, Miles Murphy, all doing a really good job. So it looks like we've got a stat correction here. So originally he had Integratech with 2 proposals, one for just under $22,000 project, and then a $12,000 MRR service agreement. And I think the total he has here is $17,689 MRR. Sheesh. Tanner Rodell, Petronella, got out a quote for $17,000 annual recurring revenue. Mason Brown has got a few here, which are all from Alltech, so bear with me, but they are fat. So Alltech and Mason got out a proposal for $8,000 MRR, the $5,000 onboarding fee. They also got out another proposal for just under $3,500 MRR, and then a final proposal with a little bit bigger of an opportunity for $25,000 MRR proposal with a $20,000 onboarding fee. Holy smokes, Mason Brown. Alltech going absolutely ham. And then None other than our own Mark Drake, S&H, got out another proposal for just under $2,000 MRR 1934. Boom. Really, really good.
It's funny because this is how real-time things are. It looks like we got something in the chat that we just got out of.
Oh, shit. Look at that.
Oh, and it's more than one.
Oh, my God. Adam. Adam just put in 7 proposals in the chat, all from Superior Roof Systems. $234,000, $118,000, $43,000, $6,500, $5,760, $5,000, and $4,500 proposal, all from Superior Roof Systems. Sheesh.
Yeah. He was like, oh, they might be doing happy hour. Let me go and stack them real quick.
Well, and look at him now. He's putting it in the closed deal chat, too. Holy smokes. All right, cool. Well, we will go through closed deals then. I think we mentioned some of Emma's over at Superior Roofing. Got out a few there. Pretty wild. So I'm looking where to pick up here. Connor Fortenberry, Whiteboard IT Solutions, got a closed deal for $1,681 MRR.
Which is on our website.
Yep, on the website. Evan Wolf, Scott Roofing, closed a $30K project just for repairs on a couple of different roofs. Ryan Kattenbrecker, Fargo Roofing, closed the repairs totaling $5,150. Ross Sifford and Micronet closed their first deal for $679 MRR. Every bit counts. All money's green. Take it. Pat Masterson, United Projects, Hale, out in New Mexico. They closed the deal for $363,405. Boom. Superior Roof Systems, Adam Broughton. Speak of the devil. You put it in the chat while we're talking about him.
Again.
Adam Broughton, Superior Roof Systems, closed a couple of smaller repairs, one for $5K and one for $5,760. Holy smokes. What a good Friday.
Yeah, is he in the office right now?
Yeah, he is over there. Fun fact about Adam Broughton. So when we moved to the new location from St. Charles, we had these Jabra headsets back at St. Charles office. They're, one of the lighter models. A little flimsy at times, but they did the trick, especially for the first few years. But when we moved to this new location, we got the bigger, badder Jabra headsets. They're fat. They go over the ear, noise canceling, active pass-through. You can answer calls, hand gestures, all that stuff. It's really cool. And Adam Broughton dials off of AirPods.
Really? To this day?
Yeah, to this day.
Has anybody said anything about this?
Yeah, me.
Yeah, you're like, what are you doing?
What the hell? We've got the best that money can buy.
These are my lucky headphones.
You're rocking the AirPods. I don't know, man. I guess he just doesn't want to be bothered. So AirPods in, he just ignores you, dude. You come over to talk to him, he's like, nope, I'm ripping. So it's a good way to tell if he's on the phone or if he's working or not. AirPods are in. Adam Broughton's making some money.
Yeah,
making some money. So really, really cool. We've got a couple of funny stories here. So we are hiring like crazy. We hired, quite a few people last month. We've got 4 more starting on Monday. One's a video production assistant for Mr. Matt.
Yeah.
Himself, as well as one of your bandmates.
Right? Yeah.
Are we missing anybody?
We're just missing one piece.
Who?
The drummer. And funny enough, he does IT.
Oh, what? We need an IT guy.
I know, yeah.
Does he do Macs?
He's a Windows guy, but he could do Macs. Yeah, he's
Send him over to Trey.
I know. I've thought about it.
Send him over.
See.
Get that referral bonus, bro.
A whole Tonight Show.
The whole band. We'll have you guys up in the corner while we're doing the pod.
Yeah. Then what happens when we need to go on tour?
Hey. That's showbiz, baby.
Aaron, dial from the road. You got it.
Yeah. Whoa. I heard a story that a lot of bandmates, so like, for example, I don't know if this is true or not, but just as an example, let's say Morgan Wallen, a country singer, he needs a band, right, to play his songs while he sings. Is it common for those bandmates to be playing for Morgan Wallen and their like actual music that they produce is in another genre?
Correct.
Is that,
yeah.
Because it's like background dancers, right? Like they take whatever gig they can get.
That's the best way to put it right there. Background dancers.
Yeah.
I mean, I give a little bit more respect on the bands. But
Sure, right, obviously.
Well,
but
yeah.
like, you know.
Not to discredit those guys.
A background dancer who's a jazz tapper might take, a hip hop gig to go dance with Beyonce because it'll make or break her career. Yeah. But it's true, right? A lot of these, what do you call those people?
I'd say a good example of that was this bassist from a metal band. Really good. And he is now the bassist for 21 Pilots.
Awesome.
And then
what do you call those people? Are they part of Morgan Wallen's band, or like are they?
I would just call them touring musicians.
Or
studio. You could hire somebody just for the studio. That would be your studio musician.
I've seen that before, and that makes sense. Bieber once hired a full orchestra.
Right.
It's cool
if you could afford it.
But I didn't know that. I found that out. I watched some Vice little mini documentary, and they're almost like a majority of touring musicians who play for the artist on the road. Very rarely is that their genre.
Yeah.
I thought that was interesting.
Yeah.
Anyhow.
Yeah, and that just comes, they always say you're a wash up once you start playing the cover band nights, blah, 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 blah. But it's like,
sometimes that's how you make it.
You got to make a living first of all. But yeah, no.
I think a lot, especially in this day and age, that's how a lot of people get attention. It's just by covering a hot song and doing it a little different. It's pretty cool.
Random, but Glorilla. Yeah, who's a rising artist.
Glorilla, yeah.
I've noticed a lot of her hit songs are the instrumentals from like big songs in the early 2000s.
Well, not her, but there was a big fight.
Yeah.
Here in St. Louis at her.
And a couple people were upset about that, and I respect it because we saw what happened with Travis Scott.
Yeah, but you're a mosher, right? You like the pit?
Yeah, but even the band, if somebody's down, they're like, pick that dude up right now. And then keep swinging.
Well, why can't you mosh at a rap concert? It's not like the stadium was packed. Travis Scott, I get it. You're chest to chest.
Dude, that's a whole
little room to, if you fall, you're probably not getting back up. I get that. But Glorilla?
That show was like sold out, I think. So it was pretty packed.
Okay. All right.
And
I'm just a hater. Got it.
Yeah. Well, no, I wouldn't say that. I would just say, different crowds, different genres.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, anyways, the point is that we're hiring a ton of people, one of which is Mr. Matt's bandmates over there. But, we had another interview come in today. Did you happen to see him?
I saw something driving through the parking lot.
You saw what he was driving.
Yeah.
Pretty much everyone saw what he was driving. Our sales floor, for those who don't know, or obviously you've never been here or checked out our website, it's okay. But for those who don't know, our sales floor is all facing, the windows are all facing our parking lot. So we can see when, I sit down and my trunk pops open because the keys are in my pocket or whatever. We can see when people come in late, who's leaving early, stuff like that. But we saw this guy come in for an interview today, and he had a bright yellow McLaren.
Yeah.
Bright yellow. And it was pretty cool. So cool that everyone in the company noticed.
Take a second to look,
And I don't know. That's the kind of sales guy we're looking for, huh?
It'd be cool to see a guy driving a McLaren.
It's not cool to see someone driving a slate gray 5-year-old BMW.
Well, that's the problem. I could have figured your BMW is like 15 years old.
Well,
because they all look the same.
That's the best part. They're timeless.
Yeah.
You can't tell.
No, that's why everybody buys them.
You can tell an old Porsche. It looks like...
Yeah, that's true.
That's true. I like BMW for that reason. Yeah. I had an 08 for a long time, and you really couldn't tell.
They're good
like
looking.
2012.
They're good looking cars.
It was cool.
They're so different, and just you could tell it's a BMW that you can't even say, "Oh, that looks really cool."
Yeah, I'm obviously a BMW guy. I know it comes with the territory. You're going to pay basically the same amount you did for the car fixing it for as long as you own it. It is.
Sucks.
Rough.
I just had like $2,200 of work done on my Bimmer, and my wife picked it up for me while I was here.
What'd you guys talk about so far?
Closed deals.
And we're on the McLaren.
Oh, McLaren. Okay.
Yeah.
I just want to do my impressions of people when we get to the part because you showed me your outline.
Yeah. We got it. We're almost there. But the McLaren guy showed up, and it was cool, man. It was really cool seeing someone roll up in that. But you might get a little razzing for it here. Jealous folks, people razz me all the time for my BMW. I get it. because they're haters. They wish
Buy
they
a
had
cool
one.
car.
They had
Yeah.
one.
People make enough money to buy a cool car here. I'm sorry.
You know what cool cars next?
Somebody's going to get paid an $18,000 commission
Minivan.
check.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, from today. Is that Pat? Did you add that on there?
Yeah, we just talked about
we
it.
talked
Yeah,
about
it's
it.
18 grand.
He
That's a down
said,
payment on a $200,000 car. You make enough money, you can do it.
Sheesh.
Do you want to make the sacrifices to drive a crazy car? That's up to you. I don't know. Most people don't. Most people are reasonable and sensical. But if you want to go balls out and just get a cool car, I think it's cool. I support it. As much as I want you to have a really nice house, I don't get to see your house every day. Yeah. Your house does not pull
It's
into
not
our
parked
parking
in the
lot.
parking lot.
Yeah.
Your
Yeah.
car is parked in the parking lot, not your house. And I would love to see a cool car. But you do whatever you want to do.
It's cool. We've got some nice cars out there. A lot better than some of the earlier ones. Kind of funny.
I mean, even mine when I first started,
Yeah.
here was
Oh, yeah.
falling apart.
I really liked your new one.
Well, yeah. I mean, going from that to what I have now is just like a life change for me.
Yeah.
An Impala that everybody had that was falling apart. Yeah. Anyway.
So, anyways, the reason why Aaron's here and he's excited to do impressions of people is we've put a very strong emphasis this month on, establishing really strong relationships with our clients. Getting follow-up meetings scheduled on appointments, making sure we're up to date on what the proposal statuses are, moving the appointments through the process of being scheduled, rescheduled, no-show, or if I need to follow up with them. And so throughout this process, we're speaking with clients and normal end of the month stuff, people cancel or whatever. And we had a few crazy situations this past month that I think were at least worth talking about because there's not a lot we can do about these guys. But the first one, we had a client. I can say who. I can say where. But they had some family members get into an altercation in their backyard.
Allegedly.
Allegedly enough to where those family members are now in jail.
So yeah, jail or prison. Something like that. Oh my gosh. Beep. Mute that.
They got to get them out.
Anyway, yeah, add that to the list. Hey, there was a massive altercation and problem, and people are going to jail. I need
sucks.
to hire for their defense. It sucks.
How do you fix that?
I don't know.
You
You
don't.
don't. We'll probably let that one
Let them
slide.
go.
Yeah, if you come up with crazy shit, I guess we'll consider it. I guess.
Do you think it's true?
I don't know.
It's too crazy not to be.
It doesn't matter. You just go find somebody else that wants to grow their business.
Well, we had another one come through too. It's almost like they made too much money. $12,500 secured, closed, monthly recurring revenue. Said no thanks.
No.
We 3x'd.
Got another that same one got another
Today.
Yeah, another deal. No, proposal. $1,900 a month proposal too. Out.
Not enough.
And they're a small company. When you're like three or four total employees at your managed IT company, I can't think you're doing a ton. Maybe you are. I don't know. Maybe you're doing $500,000.
Yeah. Well, 12,500 for 4 employees.
Like freaking 20%.
That's
Grew
like
your
what?
business
That's,
by
what, that's like
20%.
your base. That's your money. That's your salary. So like I don't know.
If you're running a $500,000 business and you pay us $4,000 a month, and we grow your business by 20%, you think you're coming back. Even if you're doing $1 million, it's
Do you feel bad?
15%.
Do you feel bad for guys like that? Like
No.
they just don't know
No,
what they're going to be missing.
you're bad at business.
Yeah.
I feel bad if I take that back. I feel bad if somebody genuinely
Like,
I
you're
feel like
making
they're
a
making a mistake.
Yeah.
And, but you can't tend to try to tell people like, look, dude, it's a year.
Yeah.
A year. You've only made $12,500. There's people who haven't made anything sometimes,
Yeah.
and they go, dude, I'm just trying to get one of these in because these meetings are badass.
Yep.
And I just can't do it. And and the clients that recognize like their blind spots, it's not even a blind spot, their weaknesses,
Mm-hmm.
and try to get better. It makes me want to work so hard for them
Yeah.
and do good stuff for them. But when somebody's making when you put $1 in at Arsenal, and Arsenal gives you like $3.50 back, and they're not like, hey, do you want to do that again? Like, I don't know.
Why would you not?
To make to just do an impression, and if you're that client and you hear me, I really don't give a shit because this is what you sounded like. You said you're like, I don't know if it's enough. I just don't know. It's like, okay, what can we do? Strange. I think I said, hey, strange. I'm kind of perplexed. Most times people will close that amount of business. They're super excited to keep it going.
Yeah. I don't know.
There's just not enough appointments. I was like, oh, really? There's not enough appointments. It's strange because it's like the appointments are just a means to an end.
Right.
And the end is making more money than I'm spending with you. And then when you do that, some people just want to find something to moan about, and it's just not enough appointments. Like, well, yeah, hold on, Tony Stark, Elon Musk. Like, if I get what you're saying, which is if we set up some more meetings, you theoretically would close more business. Yeah. But like, can you just take a step back and say, hey, this was a good exchange of money for services and value?
Can't do it. Not worth it. No. Not coming back.
No. And then we don't do auto renewals. So we're telling them ahead of time, and we're like, hey, we don't do auto renewals because they're kind of sneaky, and people complain, they bitch and moan about auto renewals, especially people in the IT space. And there's a company that's super duper famous for doing auto renewals that are insane, so we don't do them.
Yeah,
So we're like, yeah,
it's frustrating. I think
you get to have a healthy conversation. Well, for both sides. Right.
Yeah.
If you're in an auto renewal and you don't notice it, then you renew and you're like, shit, I shouldn't have renewed. If you're the vendor and you're like, hey, I got an auto renewal, especially if you let it go far down towards the very end, they're like, yeah, we'll just keep working and we'll see if we can renew at the end. And, like, oh, you mean down to the 11th hour?
Yeah.
Where you can bend us over at the last minute and say, yeah, we're going to need a discount, or yeah, I'm going to need twice the amount of appointments.
Yep.
Like, no. So yeah, it really pisses me off that when we're like forthright and honest in what we do and people try to take advantage of us. And it's like, look, I'm not a rookie. I make mistakes.
Sure.
This is a tactic we saw from a mile away, by the way, which is why we don't do this.
Right.
No, like we kind of need to know now.
Right.
Otherwise, we need to look for somebody else. If you won't commit to us, why would we commit to you?
Exactly.
And like, that is so unprofessional.
I think that is.
I can't believe you do that. Sam's on the call with me. Sam, I'm sorry. You have to deal with this every day.
I think one of the words I saw in an email was hacky. I was like, dude, what? What are you talking about?
That's a different one.
I know.
That's a different one. You reach out to
didn't
auto
make
renewal.
the crazy list, but
I really don't care. I want to work with you if you want to work with me. If you don't want to work with me, we'll go find somebody else.
Dude, an auto renewal is hacky.
Yeah.
That sucks.
No, well, so that client, we said, hey, we really want to work with you.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you're doing fine. But
sure.
Yeah, he only had like $5,000 of monthly recurring revenue closed or whatever. It's got nothing to do with the fact he doesn't get a bunch of contracts out. These sales cycles that are really slow have nothing to do with a 3-step, 3-meeting discovery.
Yeah.
That's
oh my God.
Yeah. I've heard about these. Yeah.
It's crazy.
Even Matt's like, oh yeah, don't do that.
People pay money to go to a seminar where a guy tells them, you're doing this all wrong. It's too easy to buy from you. You need a 9-step sales process. Jesus. And at the very end, you got to tell them it's $300 a person. And the guys with his 10-employee company is like, what the hell are you talking about?
Right.
Or 20. It's like, I'm adding that up. That's like $1 bajillion.
Yeah. That's 0% chance.
Like, yeah. Well, we did this dark web monitoring scan.
Okay.
And your address is out there. You're like, yeah, dude, everybody's out there.
Everything. My iPhone tells me every day.
I assume I'm hacked. Yeah. Like that's right. Our customers are on our website. I just assume that everybody has access to our own database, so I don't have to worry about like, oh man, what if somebody knew who our customers were? Problem solved.
There you go.
There's nothing to look for.
No. It's like, yeah, that's the guy. And by the way, they get called by competitors all the time. But anyway, this particular one, I was like, look, we really want to work with you. We spent a bunch of time putting an agreement together. We even honored his current price. Okay. Which was cheap.
Because the price has gone up.
Price went up.
It goes up.
Yesterday's price is not today's price.
That's it.
Fat Joe said it.
Yesterday's price is not today's price. Yesterday's price is not today's price. He's certified.
Yesterday's price, not today's price. DJ Khaled's like, yeah.
I do love that one.
I'd love to hang out with those guys.
And those are all clients we're doing well for.
Like, we're doing good for them.
We had one once that we were not doing well for.
Yeah.
And we let the employee go.
Yeah.
He was playing WoW in the bathroom on a work computer, and
hold on. I got to finish this thought. I know
Okay.
I know you're trying to wrap me up. I'm getting the hook. Somebody called me hacky because I said, we want to work with you if you don't want to sign the deal that we agreed to on the phone.
Right.
By the way, which we made a bunch of concessions for you.
Seemed like I was just
I don't do it,
observer,
but it's like I don't want to be accused of not bending over backwards for our clients.
Right.
So I said sure, we'll honor this price for a couple months until you close X amount of revenue.
Right.
He goes, this is not what we talked about. I wasn't talking about a 36-month deal. I was talking about a year deal. I was like, oh my gosh, we talked about a 36-month term. You have the ability to exit if these things don't happen.
Right.
But like,
that was the whole point.
That was the whole point. We're gonna earn your business on the long run. Now we don't want to go look for other people. Anyway,
we can find someone for you.
Well, here's I can't look at this until April 16th or something like that.
He's going on vacation.
Going on vacation, and I'm like, okay, cool. So your contract's over at the end of April.
Yeah,
we're talking to you on April 3rd.
Right.
We should have talked to you 2 months ago. But again,
that's why we're
busy.
doing it now.
That's why we're doing it now. It's like if you're irritated about this, imagine what it's going to be like when you're 90 days out and we're asking you. And he goes, and I copied you and Sam and him and everybody who this decision affects on the same email and said, if you're not going to move forward with this, just being transparent, we're going to go look for somebody else.
We have to.
I'm not going to not work for no money. I'm not going to do nothing for no money and then have somehow miraculously come up with money to pay.
Oh, the market's
your
gone.
sales rep.
It's over. Last client.
Just never going to call in the city again. What? Especially when you're making money.
Makes no sense.
And he goes, that is so hacky. Like he said it hacked a bunch of times. I'm like, and he goes, I would totally expect you to go look to replace my business anyway. That's good business.
Whether or not you tell me about it.
Whether or not you tell me, I was like, no, you're a freaking dude. You're a turd.
Yeah, what the
You're
heck?
a freaking turd. I will never work for you ever as my client that we're committed to working with you for, and then go secretly try to find somebody else. What a coward, bullshit, yellow belly thing to do.
Did you took junior achievement? There's opportunity cost for a decision. You don't want to do it. The opportunity cost is that. Okay, we'll go find someone else.
I'll go fine.
Just letting you know.
Yeah, don't freaking go in your peer group and be like, this place sucks. They only made me $5,000 a month of recurring revenue.
Only paid.
And then
for
when
their
they
fee.
asked for me to renew and I didn't renew, they said, that's okay. We'll go look for somebody else. Can you believe that? They didn't offer me half price. They didn't do, you're like, okay. Like you can't win. It's one of the this is the hardest industry. It's the hardest thing to do. We're growing because we're good at it. Our clients who take advantage of what we do, they're growing. But the guys who just want to kick their feet up and say, grow my business for me without any input or effort on my end. I've never updated my Salesforce CRM. These 30 meetings are all still marked as scheduled, and I've never graded a call. I've never given it an appointment value. I've never logged into my portal.
It's crazy.
And when you say you should listen to it, you say, I didn't know I could do that. Like there's a recorded onboarding meeting where Coda is telling you how to do it.
This would have really helped me close some deals.
Here's the email with the self-service, self-guided portal training where it tells you how to do that. Like, dude, all of our bases are like super duper covered. Yeah. I'm trying like, well, no. All right. You were founded 20 years ago. You're still doing you're still doing $500,000, right?
30 clients in 30 years kind of thing.
Yeah. And you know better and whatever. And it's not bad that we're young. We've got fresh ideas. We've got new opinions.
Mm-hmm.
more efficient ways of doing things. And oh my God, to let your ego get in the way. And again, we're going to walk away from that deal because he called me a hack a bunch and said, well, I'll still sign this deal if you accept my terms.
No.
Why would we do it now?
Well, because for money.
Yeah.
For money. But like, dude.
Over getting insulted and.
I can put my,
Sure.
if you do it, I can forgive people. I've said stuff and I've asked for forgiveness, but nobody's perfect. But for you to publicly call me a hack in front of every and then expect me to just like say, yeah,
employees on the email chain.
Yes, sir. Yeah. May I have your deal?
Right.
Like, no,
Nah.
Because I don't want you guys to do that. Nobody can talk to you guys like that. You remember the guy that was shit talking Bobby G?
Vaguely. I think you're more familiar than I am. I heard through the grapevine.
About the email, it's like, this seems like homework. Blah, blah, like,
oh, that guy.
Yeah, dude, he was so pissed off because we sent him an email that had a link to view our contract and all of our customers and like
FAQ page.
Everything you would want to know about us, so you don't have to sit through a 40-minute sales pitch. And he goes, "This seems like homework. Like you guys are wasting my time or whatever." And
busting
like
our chops for making it easy.
Yeah, and he insulted Bobby for some reason. I called or emailed that guy and was like, "You can't talk to Bobby like that."
I remember now. I
told
remember
Bobby,
that guy.
Nobody puts Bobby in a corner.
That's it. Nobody puts Bobby in a corner.
Nobody can be rude.
I think
will
you
find
unpacked
other
it for him, and he was like, "Oh, this is easier.
Yeah,
this is great. I don't want to be pitched for an hour. I'll just watch this 10-minute video and then ask whatever questions I have to Sam."
And I will look at the price. If the price is in my budget and it's acceptable, I'll continue with the meeting. If I say, "Hey, this is too expensive or not worth it," I'll cancel it.
We've got one other kind of funny client story. I
Sure.
teased it a little bit earlier, but we had this guy. Good. He was good on the phone. He had a great voice. He knew what he was doing. Didn't like to work. And, dip in for haircuts, or he'd come in at 11, go get lunch, whatever. Did what did. But he was on WoW, work laptop, in the bathroom.
Oh, you can't use his name.
Why?
Why? Yeah, you can't use his name.
All right, you got to bleep it like 100 times.
You got to bleep it 100 times.
100 times.
Jeez.
Gotcha.
Can I keep saying then so it fits with the
Hey, look, I'm getting an assistant next week, so we're
just don't do it. I mean, you probably can. I'm just saying it's in my opinion, poor taste to link the name to.
Because I do like him. I ran into him the other day. Said hi.
He messaged me long after the story happened and said, "I appreciate everything he did for me and working there." And I said, "Thank you," and I think he's doing a great job.
Wasn't a bad guy at all.
No, I think he's awesome.
Yeah, I like him. Long story short, we had to part ways, though.
Wasn't great for a period of time.
Wasn't hitting numbers, low on dials. And he had one client, I guess he had a really strong relationship with, and that guy would not come back for the next month unless he had this guy back on his account.
Yeah.
Like, lowest numbers in the company.
And to set it up, actively not doing his job while at
blatantly.
work, playing video games, watching YouTube.
It's pretty
about
funny
video
in
games
hindsight, I think.
No, it's if you don't laugh, you would cry.
Yeah,
right.
100%.
None of you guys would tell me. There's this code and like, I don't want to like rat this guy out. The tattletale. Whatever. Just so everybody knows, that's over. You are not allowed to play video games while you're at work.
Doug will get you.
You have to.
Doug will get you.
Doug will get you. I will freaking get you. Anyway,
and he got heated. Client got heated. He wanted him.
The guy got heated. Dude was playing video. He went live on Twitch.
Editing streams.
No, he went live.
Oh, really?
Live. No.
Was that the day you were standing behind him?
Watch me gain
No.
XP.
No,
That
he
was
at work.
maybe the most uncomfortable moment of my life, and it wasn't even including me.
No. Somebody was. I caught this particular guy sleeping at his desk with World of Warcraft on YouTube, and I was like, "What do you do?"
You stood behind him for
tapped him.
a couple minutes.
What are you doing? Just taking a break.
Are you when you point blank right there? Asked him if he was watching YouTube, and he said no. You're like standing behind him for a few minutes, and I'm like, oh my god. I think I had to leave the room. It was it's so uncomfortable.
Should have fired him a long time ago, but you learn.
You've got a big heart.
You learn, yeah.
And you like the guy.
Yeah.
Was going through stuff.
Anyway, dude went live on Twitch at like 10 o'clock or something and played Twitch till like, played whatever video game streaming on Twitch.
You followed him, right?
Yeah.
That's great.
He told everybody to follow him.
Of course.
He told everybody.
I followed him too.
Yeah, everybody did.
And it says blah, blah, blah is live.
Yes.
now.
Somebody went live, and I was
Yeah.
like, "Oh, cool, Aaron, check it out." Didn't even think about it. I was like, "Man, okay, whatever." 10 o'clock, it's fine.
Sure.
Next day, doesn't show up. Doesn't show up for work. And we're like, "All right, where's he at? Haven't heard from him." No, whatever. Dude, you look at I was like, "No way!" And I go and check. Dude had been streaming to the wee hours of the
Basically till when he had to get up.
Yeah, basically when a normal person would get up in the morning. And this showed up, and this is fireable offense on its own. All of the other stuff was it's crazy. So, person could not understand. He's like, "What are you talking about? What are you talking about?"
Like, Aaron, you're so out of line, dude. Like, what are you calling me out?
Just gaslight you.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. Like, and then so we do that, and we inform the client, "Hey, we got somebody else. Did more
appointments. Here you go.
More appointments. More focus. It's better." And this guy's up in the Northeast, and he's got this crazy Northeast accent. He's like, "Aaron." Sounds like Zoidberg or whatever, right? From
He was like, Aaron.
from
Futurama.
Aaron, I need this guy. This guy. Like, dude, I can't. He doesn't work here. What do you mean? It's like, well, he's doing a bad job. I had to fire him. Had to fire me. Was a good steward of your money, and like we fixed it. And I don't know. This guy loved him. And
this
quit.
guy, he did have a good way about him with the clients and stuff.
Oh, just naturally talented.
Yeah.
All the talent in the world. Distracted by
Great voice, too.
doing video games.
Oh my God.
Anyway, so the client goes, if I can have James, I'm out. I was like, "Are you sure?" They're like, "Yeah." They're like, so you can call him if you want. He's available.
Hire him.
He doesn't work. He doesn't have a job. He doesn't work here no more.
Follow him on Twitch.
And
Funny.
dude, it just went. Sam came in and I was talking to him, and I just had one of those looks where I could not believe what was going on.
Yeah.
And I told the client, we'll call this client Timmy. Said, "Hey Timmy, you are a crazy bastard." And he goes, "Yeah. Well, so are you, Aaron. You're a crazy bastard too. I know I'm crazy, but you are too."
I remember that guy. It was
It was crazy.
bizarre. Absolutely bizarre.
Another 3 or 4 man show that
He's probably doing the same thing.
he's probably
Show?
doing okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nothing wrong against being a 3 or 4 man show or a 1 man show. Been there, done that. Brutal. You want to get out of that for the most part, unless you are just kind of really mailing it in.
Do you think it was easier when you were smaller, under 10 employees? Like, more risky, obviously. If you lose business, it hurts more. But was it easier back then
No.
than like today or like the last week?
No, it's easier now.
Yeah.
It's more stressful now.
Sure.
It's more stressful. The work is more defined and
Yeah. Everyone's got their role.
distributed.
Sure.
Somebody's
Not
got
just
something to
you.
do.
Yeah.
It's like drowning. It's feeling like you're
did.
drowning.
You did everything.
I was gonna say,
Fucking
I remember
You still
everything,
do
dude.
a lot.
Everything.
I remember hearing the story about how when you built the CRM, like Cam said, he came back in and you were like working overnight.
You were in the same spot.
with like your hood up.
You were in
and
the
you're
same
like,
spot. I came in on a Thursday morning. You were already plugged in, headphones in, hoodie up, which was weird.
Mm-hmm.
Working on Salesforce. And I left, said, "Hey, good night. You were working." I came back the next day and you were still there.
I was?
Yeah. And I was like, "Yo, Aaron," and I still smoked cigarettes. And I was like, "Hey, are you okay? Like, do you need to step outside? You need to eat something?" You're like, "Yeah, fresh air."
Yeah, fresh air.
You the only time ever, because you don't like cigarettes, you don't like cigarette smoke. You stepped outside with me. It's the only time ever.
Yeah.
I knew that, like, oh my God, he probably just worked through the night.
I pulled a bunch of all-nighters.
Yeah,
for sure.
believe
One
it.
time at St. Charles, I felt goofy, kind of not embarrassed, but I was like, "Oh man, I wish I would have done that." I worked really late, and then I was gonna get a quick snooze and then go home.
Yeah.
the alarm did not wake me up, and I woke up on the couch at like 9 in the morning, 8 in the morning, and
You're
like
here.
everybody was there working. I was like, oh shit, people saw me sleeping on the couch. People saw me sleeping on the couch,
Hey, respect the hustle.
That's
man.
commitment.
and I was like, man, they probably think I'm freaking weird or whatever.
That's
It's
commitment.
like, anyway. There's all kinds of crazy stuff. You should ask. We should get Lauren on one time.
Yeah.
Have
I bet she's got some good ones.
got some wild stories about Aaron. You know,
I don't know why.
Just doing
Maybe I was
stupid
thinking of
stuff.
Wildwood, but do you remember that lady who started her own like vitamin drink company? She was across the street there, and she brought us those samples, and then it like messed us up.
it was like
Do you remember
we were
that?
sweating.
I don't know what that stuff was. I didn't feel like I could drive. Like
Oh no.
No,
It
we were
was-
like we were
it was
kind
weird.
of loopy and sweating and
And she said it was vitamins, and it was like a lemonade. She had Bomb Pop or Fruit Loops or I don't know. It tasted fine. It was good, but I felt funny.
probably had a bunch of THC,
Yeah, probably.
some CBD shit, something like that.
Kind of freaked me out. A
It's
little bit.
legal. It's not FDA approved. It's legal.
yeah, it's legal.
Well, you know, Aaron it was just me and him. She's coming door to door to hand out samples. She's from across. We're like, yeah, hell yeah, we'll take one. And then it just like, whoa, what is going on? Well, cool. It turned into a pod full.
Yeah.
And a pod light. So that's cool. So we'll cut it short on the sales tip here. I've just got a quick one for you. Something that we're doing, you know, a lot here, really hammering it home. But if you're struggling with show rate, and you can't get people to show up at a consistent clip, try staying on the phone with them while you send the invite. Get them to accept. Sounds easy, sounds simple, but I promise you 90% of people out there do not do that. They just cross their fingers and hope that the person shows up. And I'll tell you what, hope's a terrible strategy. It's a great little girl's name, bad strategy. Stay on the phone till they hit accept. That's it.
Sales tip.
Pod out.
It's not enough.